About to be a quick rundown of the trading day on, I guess it was 19th, 18th, 17th of February. I traded OKYO and it just happened to pop up on my screen. So I went ahead and decided to trade it, which wasn't necessarily a strong chart to trade, but I traded it anyway. So let's see what it did. Can I do that? 1 minute, daily? No. Day? 1 minute? 1 minute, 1 day. Yeah. I tell you, I'm getting more and more comfortable with the TradeStation platform, but it's still quite different from TD Ameritrade. So I'm still learning it, but I'm getting better. So anyway, all right. So what did it do? Let's go 2 days. All right, so apparently OKYO on a large time frame was doing something crazy. Got down very low into the $1 and $2 range. Looked like it dropped down as low as about $1.52 or so at one point, and then it kind of consolidated. And then on Friday, it shot way up. So it went up as much as, let's see, went up as much as, how many percent is that? What? Okay, here we go. Went up as much as 180%. Of course, then it retraced quite a bit. So let's see how much it retraced before the day was over. I think we're in there. Retrace 46%. All right, so let's do this. Yeah, 213%, I guess, moving up. All right, so anyway, we're going to come back over to here. And this is the 1 minute time frame up here. This should be the 5 minute. And like 5 day. Okay, so 5 minute, 5 day. You see, this is the range here and the $2 range here that it was moving. And then all of a sudden it popped up. And then it did a pretty good retracement and then moved on down. Let's see here. On the 1 day, how far out can we go? 1 year? Now, I do like on TradeStation where you can just type this stuff into the command and it can change the interval and change the duration fairly quickly. Also, you can change the chart, so you can just type in MSGM or whatever you want to type in and it changes immediately. Whereas in Thinkorswim, you gotta move your mouse, you gotta come all the way up, you gotta find the right spot, put it in the right spot, and then type it in. Okay. And then if you're doing something on the chart, which I like the chart here because you can just kind of drag quickly and be wherever you want to be. You can double tap here to kind of auto orient yourself vertically, and then you can double tap down here to recalibrate the width, the time span. But if you want to come back all the way up here to change it, you got to come up here, tap that, OKYO, type it in, and then you get this. But again, on Thinkorswim, you can easily tap on the screen and it can give you all the different drawing tools. So you can just kind of select what you want and then you can draw it. Also on Thinkorswim, you can hit Control Z, so it's undo. So it automatically undoes it. When you're back on TradeStation, you can't do that, right? So when you're on TradeStation, you get up here and for one, you cannot quickly command the drawing tools in the center of the page. Okay, so you always have to come over here to the side, tap that, type whatever you want, and enter. Okay, and then if you want to get rid of it, you can't just hit Control Z. If I do, nothing happens. So I have to come all the way back on the side, find the pointer, click on what I want, and then delete it. Okay, so there's no undo. Whereas back on Thinkorswim, you can quickly do stuff, and it'll automatically it'll quickly let you correct and resume activities. So I can hit that, put one there. Then I can hit Control Z because I was wrong. Tap, bam. I mean, so I can't say enough about, like I said, being able to navigate through both platforms, but each platform has its pluses and minuses. I like the plus of having the different colors of the time and sales over here. So time and sales, for instance, we're going to go to 16th, 951 trades. Now we better go to, so I'm just going to show you on, let's see, trades over 1,000. Because even though it was a lot of activity, there still wasn't a whole lot of volume on the trades compared to maybe some other meme stocks or some other stocks that are really pumping and moving for the day. So you got to be careful in those instances, which, like I said, I got in, and there still really wasn't enough volume to make sure that you're not having a lot of manipulation. And there was probably manipulation, which is fine, but I got swept up in it. So let's see. Let's come back over here. OKYO 951 to 955. We're gonna let's go. I forget what time it started moving, but I just want to show you what the differences look like in case you're trying to make a decision on what you want. All right, so here's OKYO on Friday. And so I have it set up. You can set it up different ways, but I have it set up specifically for me. It works for me that that the asks come in green, that the bids come in red. Anything in between the burst or just market orders. Market orders should be coming in here. Burst I have coming in white because excuse me, I've seen to notice that bids come in a lot of times when the stock is moving down. Asks come in a lot of times when the stock is moving up. Particularly, you'll see clusters of asks coming in when the stock is moving up, clusters of bids coming in when the stock is going or about to move down, and then you see clusters of bursts when the stock is just kind of moving sideways or consolidating or just continuing. It's doing its follow through. So those are the three that I want to see. I don't really want to see what's going on with the market as much. And then let's see if we have the above ask, because I love the above ask because the above ask and the above bid really tend to come in when the stock is about to make a move. All right, let's see if any of them showed up. So we're in the time frame of when the stock, what did you do? Okay, when the stock met its kind of a peak here in this time range, 1036 to 1040. Let's try that. 1036, 1040. Up. 36, 1040. It's gonna be AM. I wish I had a touch screen for my second monitor, but I don't. Okay, so 1036, 1040. All right, so all these are still ask, bid. You see some ask come up here, but at 1037, you see this below bid, and I make sure that this is highlighted in this fashion. But the below bid came in 1037. So this is a 1037 candle. Excuse me. TradeStation is very funny to me in that the 1037 candle does not reflect what happens in the minute of 1037 to 1038. The 1037 candle reflects what happens from 1036 up to 1037. So the 1037 candle is a completed candle, kind of a thing. If that makes sense to you, it took a while for me to grasp. But so this is showing 1037. So if we go over here, you see that 1037 is here, but what happens in the 1037 time frame would be on the 1038 candle. So at 1037, so we're focusing in on this candle here. Come on. Okay. All right, so we're focusing in on this candle here. All right. If it would stop doing that. Okay, so I think we said that candle. Yeah, 1038. All right, now what price was at $6.79. If we look to the right of our screen here, where are we at? If we look over, is it not going to do it? And it's only going to do it up here. Yeah. Okay, so if we look to the side of our screen over here, we see the dollar amounts. Okay, so let's look for 679. 679, right in here. Okay, so we're saying at 679 that a considerable below bid order came in. Like I said, to me, I'm seeing those when the stock is about to make a move. And I mean, from there, it came on down. I mean, that's the, I don't want to say that was the peak, but that was definitely one of the time points, one of the candles where it decided to shoot straight down. And it continued down the rest of the day. I mean, it did make a little bit of a pullback. But that's one of the things I want to look at with you guys, is because sitting here doing my after trade analysis, I noticed a few things. So, and again, this all this stuff is probably more for me than it is for you, but I'm just posting it anyway. All right, 1010 to 1030. Let's see what that looks like, because I wonder were there any above ask. I didn't look in my after studies. I didn't look at that. What's that, 1010 to 1030? 1010. Yeah, 1030 or so. All right, let's go back over here. All right, so 1010, 1015, 1015. Okay, 1015. All right, well, we don't see any above ask either. So that wasn't necessarily a indicator or a cue on this one. Let's do show all trades. Let's see if it gives us many trades. Oh yeah, it's loading a bunch of them up. Oh yeah, look at that, 1030. Okay, so it went back as far as 1012. Wait a minute. Okay, 1010. So it went back as far as 1010. That's because, again, I filtered for shares over 1,000, I think. And so all these shares under 1,000 didn't show up. A lot of times I'm finding that these aren't as important for me because they are typically not orders that are put on by the larger money. I do think it's important to see what's going on with these, particularly when you're looking at absorption. So when you're looking at a reversal, but doing like normal movement, a continuation, a pullback or something like that, I'm not seeing that that's as important. But again, when you're looking at absorption, you know, something like this candle here where it's starting to move up and then it drops and all of a sudden. And so we'll look at this on Thinkorswim. I don't know what this drop looked like. This might have been an absorption drop. Dang it. And that's the only thing I don't like about TradeStation either, is because when I put notes on here, they disappear. They only exist on one chart. And if you open another chart or another screen, all your notes disappear, which is crazy. Let me see, because I know I made some notes and I should have done a screenshot of this. Yep, see, all these notes I made on OKYO completely disappeared. They completely disappeared whenever I brought a new chart up, and that sucks. On Thinkorswim, it does not do that. So, and again, I came over to TradeStation, but I think I'll probably be doing some leaning back toward Thinkorswim. So anyway, so here we're talking about, here, was this it? No, yeah, we're talking about here. Okay, so here my note said a bid cluster. So that means that a bunch of bids came in at one time, and the number 7 says there's about 7,000 shares worth of bids came in. I don't know if they came in at the top or if they came in near the bottom. But a huge bid cluster came in. So, but the good thing about you can't do this with TradeStation, you can do this with Thinkorswim. You can replay this and you can see what it looked like. So I'm gonna try to do that here in a second. Yeah, gosh, man, that sucks. Ah, man, I'll ask TradeStation if there's a way to, replay that to keep your drawings. Let's see. I might have done it on this one. Let's see. OKYO. Okay. So this is the chart, I guess, that I did all my analysis on. And you see here on this chart, it exists. But when I open up this chart on this, I guess you call it workstation, workspace, because you have different desktops, but then you have different workspaces. This is a workspace, this is a workspace, this is a workspace. Now, if I open a new desktop, I can open a new desktop and it'll be like a whole nother computer screen, for like double monitors. But anyway. All right, so like I said, I'm still learning these platforms. Okay. All right. This one had ass, but no above ass or high volume ass. Okay. All right. All right, so let's come back to, you couldn't see what I was seeing because I'm sitting here looking at something on another screen and you couldn't see it. All right, so what I was looking at was here. I'm sorry, guys. Here. Again, the different workspaces and different desktops. So on TradeStation, you have these different desktops where you can open a new desktop and it'll be like a whole new computer screen. But you have on each desktop, you have different workspaces. One workspace, another workspace, another workspace, another workspace, another workspace. So I found out that on this workspace where I actually studied and looked at this chart and made notes, the information exists. On this workspace, information does not roll over. It doesn't exist. Even though I linked both these workspaces with the yellow global symbol link. So, they should be linked. Well, I know they were linked before and it didn't show up. Let's see. I'm gonna link this one to the green symbol and see if it green. I think that one's a low. No, that's a global. And it's global because this is rounded. If this was not rounded, if this was square, then it would be a local. Global means that the symbols or the information can travel from one workspace to the next. So let's make this the green global. And now there's green global. Any information pop up? That's a resounding no. Okay, so again, it doesn't travel from workspace to workspace. So next, we're talking about absorption. We're talking about whether or not, because I was saying that this was a bid cluster. I wondered whether or not, you see the volume here. I wonder, was this absorption volume? Because again, when we see the over here, where you see the lower volumes, we're not necessarily seeing that. To me, that's not saying that larger money is willing to buy. Okay. So I wanted to go back and see what this time frame looks like. And this is the 1140 candle. So that means for this platform, that means that information that is happening here is happening from 1139 on. Okay, so let's see what happened at 1139. And we should see, as I noted, we should see some bid clusters there. 38 to 44. By bid clusters, I just mean that there's a number of bids being hit. See at the bid. You see at the bid, it's red. It's red at the bid, at the bid, at the bid. Okay, so 1140. So we're looking at stuff 1139. Bam. See, there's an above ask at the 1139. I'd be in there, but it's a low volume above ask, 180, and like I said, I wouldn't have even saw that because my filter that I set up here typically is only going to show me stuff like over 1,000 shares because that's really what I'm interested in. All right, but at 1139, okay, 1139. Here's all these bids here, so I'm calling that a bid cluster. And then, like I said, I roughly estimated, that to be 7,000 shares worth of bids. There's your bid cluster there. All right. But since we had that bid cluster, and you see how it easily shows up here, it's red. And again, if you like reading the tape, or if you're trying to learn how to read the tape, seeing these different colors to me works. I mean, it's a visual picture. It's like a movie, and you can more easily make sense of it. Whereas when I come over to Thinkorswim with TD Ameritrade, this is what it looks like. So I said I want to go back to 1138. And so again, see on Thinkorswim, this candle is the 1139 candle. And on TradeStation, it was 1140 candle. Now, yeah, go figure, right? All right, but what happens on Thinkorswim at 1139 happens on the 1139 candle. This will be the 1140 candle with 1139 data on TradeStation. All right, so let's go back here because again, with Thinkorswim, you can run stuff back. You can do a historical analysis. You can do a historical playback. Okay, so this is actually the on-demand version, the on-demand part of Thinkorswim, so I can play stuff back, and that's what I'm doing here. So on February 17th, we're going to run that back at about 11. We'll start at 11:37 and see if it'll do what we want it to. This doesn't always work great. If it did, I think there'd be a lot more people actually able to grasp the concept of this trading thing. But man, you got to work for this. You really have to keep working for it. All right, so we are, where are we at? We're at 11:38, so we're waiting for the 11:39 to roll around. So open up the time of sales. So this one is showing all the there goes my chart. Okay, this column is showing all of the sales that are happening. It should be showing all the sales that are happening, and it's not, so I'm gonna pause it. Sometimes it takes time for these things to load up so that they can get all the information. All right, and then this one is showing all the sales over 2,000 shares. This one is probably all the shares over 7,000 shares, which there weren't really any of these in the day. So, technically I could turn that one off. All right. All right, let's try to play it. And so it's moving, the chart's moving, but we're not seeing any orders come through. Turn that off, turn it back on. Turn this one off. one didn't even turn it off. Oh, come on. This one's about to drop. There we go. Okay, now I think it's resetting because they both disappear. So that means that they're usually about to load up. There we go. Okay. So what we're looking for is if there's absorption. So we want to see all of a sudden a whole bunch of orders come in and people get swept. Like this will just kind of start boop, 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 boop. All right. So his volume is not growing really quickly. Oh, right there. It just boom. It just boom. And you see up here it says Dirty Bear. That's an indicator that I created to give me an idea that there's a greater amount of volume compared to the size of the candle. And so that's an indicator I created. I mean, I really don't care if anybody gets the code on that. Let's see what the code is. Dirty Bear. All right, so this is my Dirty Bear. So if you want to pause this and grab that, you can. Like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But this is my creation. This is my creation. Created by Eric G. If you want to use it, ask me. How about that? Let's do that. Let's see. Can we do that? Will it let us do that? Yeah. Okay, Dirty Bear. All right, and that's the thing about indicators. All the time they don't work, right? So we got Dirty Bears. We got Dirty Bears right in here, but they didn't. It didn't lead to a move up. This Dirty Bear here did happen to lead to a move up, but and we did see that we got absorption, right? We got a whole lot of orders that came through. Whole lot of orders that came through all at one time. And so what that says to me is that people were probably, for whatever reason, thought maybe, come on, what you doing? People probably thought this was a good price level. They thought would hold, or for whatever reason, people were thinking that this was a good trend line to be broken. They thought maybe there, and so they figured here they're going to go ahead and start buying in, and somebody's big money took them out real quick. So either way, that was as my man Mac would say, that was a liquidity grab for big money. So they took that, and then they proceeded to move forward with a little bit more hesitation, taking a few more shares, and then they moved up here. But what I was looking at today was I typically only have the 200 moving average here. Let's see. I typically only have the 200 moving average. I have the volume weighted average price. And also off of the volume weighted average price, I have this one, which is the -2 standard deviation. And this one is the +2 standard deviation of VWAP. And recently, I've started incorporating this line here, which is the 15 moving average. And this is an exponential moving average. Because something I work pretty hard on down here, it very similarly resembles the 15 moving average. Okay, and I'll show you this one here in a minute, but this is an indicator that I created as well. But this one very closely resembles 15 moving average for whatever reason. And that's probably a good thing, but I don't know. So I figured, hey, instead of using this one so much, I'll just use the 15 moving average. And then today when I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, well, I know that I want to get into stocks that are moving above the 15 moving average, that are moving above the volume weighted average price, or at least the volume weighted average price is high. And then I'm starting to pay attention to the 15 moving average, and I'm looking. Okay, so I'm gonna erase this. So as I'm looking and kind of studying these things, I'm saying, all right, well, looks like there's a stronger trend if the chart is above the 15 moving average. But this indicator that I made here tends to show that once it dips below the 15 moving average, that's a good place to enter. Problem with that is, you see here, once it dips below the 15 moving average, it could just keep going down. If I'd have got in here, I would have barely got out. If I'd have got in here, I would have barely made any profit. But then if you got in here, where's your risk at? Is it down here? Because if it is, this distance here, in order to be a 1-to-1, you got to be up here, which it never made it to. So you're probably a risk of 1 to reward 0.3, and that's no good. Okay, so there's got to be a better entry. And if you want to say, all right, well, I'll take anything as long as I'm over the 9 moving average or the 15 moving average. Well, if the 15 moving average is your kind of your stop loss or your bottom, then say you get in here, there's a long ways from here to here. So that's a large risk. Can you make it that distance all the way up? If so, that's the height of the move. Okay, and that's just a 1-to-1. What if you get in here? Now you're here and you got to go up this high. That's probably a 1 to 0.8. And you probably never would have made that anyway. The higher you get, the worse your risk to reward scenario relationship. And it makes it make less sense. So obviously you have to be looking at other things such as volume and price action, but it just really starts taking the icing off the cake if you're looking at this being your stop loss. So I figured, okay, well, let me look at another moving average. And so I pulled this one up today, which is a 25 moving average. Well, this chart is going bananas. What's going on over here? Okay, so now I start to shoot up. Okay. And this blue marker right here, this is a crossover between the 15 moving average. And you got to stop doing this. Okay, so this blue arrow is, and that's something easy on Thinkorswim that you can pull up. Okay. This blue arrow is actually a crossover. It's a cross between the 15 moving average and the 25 moving average. Okay, so that'll put a cross on your screen. All right, and I'm not saying that it works for all charts. I'm just saying that at some point I'm realizing as I'm looking through charts, I'm realizing that I do want to enter above the 200 moving average. I think that's always going to be a plus for me if I'm going long. I'm also making trades that are in relation to this 15 moving average, but I got to get them on a pullback. And when the stock starts coming down toward the 15 moving average, especially if it's coming into a pullback and you're maybe looking for a reversal, you've got to find some other way to show that the downward move, that the pullback, that the retracement is out of juice. And so I've realized in looking at other stocks, you see this move here, as long as it's going up, I'm saying, okay, you can give it a shot. Here, you would have just took an L. you would have took whatever L you had in store. But you would not have gotten back in until that trend line is broken, which it didn't break at all until it got down here. But at this point, now your entry, yes, you're below the 15 moving average, but look at this. Your 15 moving average now has, instead of going up and hitting a crescendo, now it's actually coming down. And so I'm realizing that, yes, I want to get into stocks that are above the 200 moving average and somewhere around pulling back to the 15. But I need to get into stocks where the 15 is moving up. So if the 15 is moving down, I need not get in. Okay. So I shouldn't have got in anywhere here, anywhere here. Here it's starting to level out. So maybe. And what does it do? I mean, somebody tries to get in. You know, maybe it was the time, maybe it wasn't. It started leveling out again. Do you get in then? Question mark. Okay, but we're going to move on over. And that is not when you get in, apparently. A little bit of volatility here. And I think that's too close to this action. So it's a little bit premature. This is a huge sell-off. So this action usually won't happen this close. So you gotta wait. You gotta wait for another pullback. And here it pulled back, and so it moved up. So you say, is this the time? Maybe. Not much of any volume here yet, though. Not enough volume to break the trend line. A lot of times you're going to see volume when you break the trend line. So this doesn't have, in my opinion, enough volume to break the trend line. Okay. This is volume, though. All right. So some people got swept, right? And it was a drop. And so he come up here. Again, even if you thought it was going to move up, there's no volume here. This one here has a little bit of volume. Where are we at? No. This one here has a little bit of volume, but I mean, it's volume only in comparison to what recently happened. It's not volume in comparison to, what it's up against. This is the amount of selling pressure that it's up against. This little volume here, not big enough to overcome this guy. No, not big enough. All right. So we got to keep moving. We got to keep looking for the next place. Excuse me. Meanwhile, we see that the 15 moving average keeps going down again here. I gotta stop doing that. All right. So the 15 moving average keeps going down here. And now the 15 moving average is on the way back up, which is good. But then also the 15 average crosses or starts to cross, intersect, converge with the 25 moving average, which is kind of cool. Okay, and here where it crosses it, we also get that higher volume. So this volume here, of course, overcomes that volume. But then this volume is where we know that we got some strength to overcome that other bullish pressure. And so from there, what happened? That was the point where the stock started moving up. And not only that, and of course, I mean, it moved up a certain amount. It wasn't a retracement. It still got a lot of bearish pressure. Again, you can look at the 1 year. Okay, so let's see. We're here. So everything has been going down. It's flat. I mean, there's a lot of bearish pressure here. So don't think that it's going to just shoot straight up. And it didn't. Here was the line that I ended up having to draw because that was the swing high. All right. So This is another indicator I just made recently. It doesn't look like it does a great job at showing me anything, but I'm paying attention to that as well. I think I'm going to make another indicator for the convergence, of the 15 and the 25 moving average. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put this on pause and see if I can make it real quick. Okay, so this is what I just came up with. I created this this indicator. Is called EG Convergence Divergence Histogram, which is not necessarily a histogram. This is more so like a histogram, if I'm not mistaken. But I use an add cloud feature for this, and man, I don't know that TradeStation allows you to add clouds and do different things like you can with Thinkorswim. So I really like Thinkorswim for that. But TradeStation allows you to create algorithms, so you can create algorithms that actually, and I don't know how to do it yet, but I'm still working on all my coding and that kind of thing. But you can create algorithms that can, code or trade for you. So, what is it, Market Algos or something like that? Yeah, TS Algos. Like I said, I haven't looked into this yet, but I will be this week. So, stay tuned. I'll let you know how it goes. I don't have money to be trading with algos, but I'm sure interested in trying this out. Okay. All right. Let's get back to Thinkorswim. Okay, so I just did like I said, a indicator that shows me when the 15 is over the 25. So when the fast moving average is over the slow moving average, this is going to be indicative of the difference between the two moving averages. So you see the distance from this line to this line should be this amount under here. And then when these two get close, see how they're getting close? This down here, let me show you with the arrow. This down here is getting close. When they get real close here, they get real close here. When the one starts moving underneath the other one, when the fast starts moving underneath the slow, you see it going underneath, it's going to a red. All right. And then I could change the color. So I could, well, I have to change it back in the coding. All right, and I'm not saying that everybody can't do this coding stuff. I'm just saying I'm not going to give it all away for free. All right, so I changed it to dark red, dark green, and dark red, which I actually like the other colors better. But anyway, all right, so as this crosses beneath it, now we just have to wait. So we're going to say, all right, this is an indication that that we're looking for a reversal. We can say that. All right, we can say that we're looking for a reversal here. All right. So we're just going to wait until we get a cross back up above here. See that cross up above, and it came with volume, so that's our good sign. But now let's look at this number and see, did we have any above bids? Did we have any high volume? Like, what's in this volume? What's in this volume to make this significant? So this is in the neighborhood of 1205. So like I said, we could do it from here, but I can't see these colors as well. So we're going to go to 1205. We're going to go back to the TradeStation platform. And 1205, 1215. All right, so it's referencing right in here. So we're actually looking for, what is this, 1205, 6, 7. So what happens in the 1206 time frame? Jeez, a lot of data. 1206. Okay, so 1206, we started seeing some ask come in. There's one or two bids. There's one bid. There's another couple asks. So even at okay, so there's an ask cluster. There's one little bid, measly little 100. Measly little ass, measly little, well, there's 1,400 bid. So there's a couple dispersed bids here. Okay, there's another bid. Okay, now we're starting to get another little ass cluster. Okay, now there's our above bid, but it's a small number. Below bid, so that cancels that out. There's a bid cluster. So now you're like, all right, well, what's happening now? And because that's happening at 1207, so that'd be in the 1208 candle. That'd be happening here. Okay, so, but that happened at 474. So if we draw a line at 474, is that 474? Okay. Because we got these bids here at 474, so that probably to me is saying that, see, at 474, that to me is saying that these people here who shorted tried to short it again. And you see this rejection candle here. People who shorted it over here or sold here probably try to do the same thing again here. And it wasn't successful this time, because as we start making it back above 474, now we have a cluster. We have a good number of asks come in, good share size. And then as we move up, there's a good size bid there, 4,000. It's just kind of tit for tat, 498. We get some asks come in. Get asks to come in, 498. Still in the 1208 candle. Get some more asks to come in. And again, this is all in the 1208 candle. A lot happened in that candle. So you see all this volume. Okay, now we're in the 1209 candle. And you got all these asks coming in. Okay, got that there. Okay, now we're seeing just a lot of green. There's a bid, but the rest of this, well, there's a couple more bids. Kind of tit for tat, green and red, green and red. I'm still not seeing anything that says, oh man, this is super strong. This is just about to move straight up. It's a good size ass right there. Still in the 1209 candle. But look at this, below bid. Okay, so this is this red. This is a 1209 candle. $12.09 candle right here. Okay, so 12.09 candle, and of course, well, surely here at 12.09, 12.10, I mean, it did do its retracement. So let's see what happens right here around 12.16. That should be 12.15 information, because we do have a lot of greens coming. Look at all these greens, all these green clusters. 12.09. So that's the 12.10 candle. So you got a lot of greens coming in. Even though it did retrace quite a bit, we have a lot of ass coming in. A lot of ass. Oh man, look at all that green. Wow. A lot of green coming in. Yep. All that's green. 12.09, 12.10. And I mean, you do have some bids coming in here. But not like the number of ass. And there's a huge cluster of bids right there, 12.10. So that's the 12.11 candle. right there. All right, so that's where we start seeing the retracement. Okay, because from here, you know, chart was looking like it was about to move straight up, but the 1210 information came in, and those high bids drew everything down. That was at $5. Right in here. Okay. All right, a lot of ass coming in, a lot of ass. Below bid on 1212 and 1213. There's above bid. Ooh, all those below bids. 1214, 1213 candle. 1215 candle. Okay. So even though we got all these below bids coming in here, this 1215 candle, we have a straight move up. Or at least the next move up. 1215. It's 1216 candle. Okay, well, so in here, even though we got this nice retracement here, on this chart, we saw that there was a huge cluster of ass right in this region. Okay, so I don't know what that means to you. Does that mean that you focus on the crest and wait for the pullback and get in? Or does that mean that you wait for the crest and then as it's coming down, you look for more confirmation? So typically what I do see is that, you know, in most cases, you have a move up, there's an increase in volume. There's always a decrease in volume with the retracement, which you saw here. And then as the volume moves up, it's moving out of that that retracement zone. So I like that. But it didn't go very far before it hit its resistance and then moved down the rest of the day. Okay, so I think that's about all I've got to share on OKYO today. So if you have any questions, be sure to reach out. But we're always learning, right? We're always learning, guys. All right, so one other thing I want to show you before I get out of here is, let me get you off of this screen. And I'm going to bring you back. Okay, so this OKYO. And this spread wizard down here is what I was kind of telling you about that it oftentimes is similar to the position of the close to the 15 moving average. So here the 15 moving average is up. That went up. And it goes down. Yeah, it's not resembling on this chart. And that's the thing, man. Every chart is different. That's why I didn't get rid of it, because every chart is different. And so if you look down here, I'm looking down here, and I'm comparing. So what I'm supposed to be using this for is when this gets low, then using this as a potential entry. And if we go up here, that was not a great entry. I mean, it wasn't bad. You might have could have got something. If you go here, that was not wasn't terrible, right? Here, not bad either, right? So I mean, this indicator could potentially, be a profit maker, but I think it needs some fine tuning. So maybe incorporate some other information into it. That's the fun part about trading and you know, mathematically trying to figure out what's the algorithm that makes all this work. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I think I've kept you long enough, namely myself. But I'll chat with you later. All right. As I say, I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace. Wait a minute. Where's the camera at? Where's the camera? Oh, there it is. Okay. Peace.